I never wear these leggings. Grabbing a mini lampshade from Amazon, I'm going to slide it down the leg until the fabric is stretched tight. I grab some scissors to cut off the excess fabric from the top and the bottom. I added hot glue along the inner edges of the lampshade, then pressed down the fabric so it laid flat. I repeated this on the top and the bottom until all the fabric was laid flat. Taking it over to my lamp, I switched it on and was so happy with how it turned out. It's so easy to do, and it's a great way to add charm to your house with any colors or patterns that you love.
You won't believe what drinking straws and a lampshade have in common. Take a drum lampshade and draw a level vertical plumb line with a pencil on the side of the shade. Continue to draw these plumb lines about every 7 to 8 inches around the entire lampshade. Now take some non-bending straws and start to arrange them in a random zigzag pattern. This does not need to be exact. In fact, the more random the pattern, the better. Take a hot glue gun and place a line of glue along one side of a straw. Lay this straw on the lampshade in line with one of the plumb lines, but with part of the straw hanging off the edge of the shade. Continue to glue straws side by side onto the lampshade in your random pattern. You can ensure that your straws are laying evenly on the shade because you can make adjustments as you hit each plumb line that you drew on the shade. I discovered that you can also apply your hot glue directly onto the lampshade and then lay the straws on top. This method is a lot faster than laying them one at a time. In a well-ventilated area, spray paint your new lampshade in the color of your choice. Don't forget to spray the inside of the shade as well. Use a finial in a matching or coordinated color to attach the shade to a lamp base for your bold and beautiful new lamp. I hope this inspired you to give an old lampshade a dramatic but inexpensive makeover with just a little glue and some straws.
Grab a lampshade, new, old, or thrifted, for a unique addition to your patio table. Start by removing all of the fabric from the lampshade. If there's trim, you can save it to reuse. You'll need a hot glue gun and your choice of mesh fabric for the cover. We used burlap mesh here, but you can use tulle, netting, or screen. Attach the mesh by applying hot glue to the ribs of the lampshade as well as the top and bottom rings. Cut a separate piece of mesh for the top and attach it with more hot glue. For a finished look, reattach the reserved trim from the lampshade and cut any exposed or loose threads. If you don't have any reserved trim, you can use your choice of ribbon. If the holes of the mesh are too large to keep pests away, take a piece of screen and attach it to the underside of the lampshade, gluing along the ribs and rings. For the handle, you can use anything you like, an old drawer knob, more ribbon, or large beads. Your food cover is now ready to use.
You know all those lonely donated lampshades you see at thrift stores? Well, pick up a matching pair. And while you're at it, pick up a thrifted belt with a buckle that is 1 to 2 inches wide. Run a bead of clear glue around the perimeter, take the other lampshade and flip it upside down. Place it on top of the other lampshade and hold it for a few minutes until the glue dries. Take some jute twine and tie the inner hardware of the two lamps together. Give the connected shades a little shake to make sure they are securely connected. Now take the belt and buckle it around the skinny center of the two lampshades. If the belt is too large, simply use a poker or a small screwdriver and create your own hole. Add a little glue to the loose end of the belt and secure it to the rest of the belt. Next, find a thin wood circle disc that is 1 inch or 2 larger than the diameter of the largest opening of a lampshade. If you have a lipped edge on your wood disc, paint the edge with some acrylic paint. Do you have some wallpaper scraps? Now is the time to use them. And peel and stick wallpaper is perfect for this project. Measure the diameter of the wood disc and then measure a piece of wallpaper that is just a little longer than that measurement. Peel off the backing of the wallpaper and apply to the center of the disc. Smooth out any bubbles with your hand or a straight edge. Trim the excess wallpaper that is hanging over the edge of the disc with some scissors. You now have the center covered, but you need to fill in the edges. Take the left side of a piece of wallpaper and splice it into the right empty space on the disc. And vice versa. Take the right side of that same piece of wallpaper and splice it into the left empty space. Most wallpapers are designed so the edges can be easily matched up. Match up the seams, press onto the disc, and smooth out any wrinkles with your hand. Then trim off any excess wallpaper with scissors. Last, place the wallpaper disc on the top of the lampshade base to create a brand new accent table.
Grab a wire trash basket from the Dollar Tree. Then I spray painted the inside and the outside of the basket of metallic silver and cut a small hole in the bottom center of the basket. Adhere a napkin holder from the Dollar Tree to the inside of the cut hole. So I'm attaching wire to a napkin ring and floating it toward the middle of the basket. I got these silver zip ties that I'm attaching to the bottom of the wire basket. I'm hooking on more silver zip ties to complete the bottom section. Then hook on some white zip ties towards the middle and the top once the bottom section is completed. Make it fuller and filling in gaps with the remaining zip ties. Then adhere a few feathers for extra texture. I hope this DIY encourages you to create your own zip tie light lampshade.
I found this lamp not too long ago at the thrift store, and while I like the shape of it, it needs a bit of a makeover. Before applying the paint, I'm going to give the base a quick sanding with some gritty sandpaper. This beautiful burgundy paint is going to look lovely on the base of the lamp. To transform the lampshade, I want to decoupage this paper all over it. I'm going to apply a decoupage medium to the area I want to work with first. I don't want to cover the entire lampshade to begin with because I don't want it to dry out before I can get to that area. Now to start applying the decoupage paper. I want to cut a piece that's manageable but will cover the whole area while leaving a little bit extra to cover the top and bottom. Before applying it, I want to dampen the paper with a wet paper towel. This is going to allow the paper to be stretched and formed to the shape of the lampshade. I can lay the paper right onto the shade now and trim off any big excess pieces. I'm going to use the same paper towel to smooth out any air bubbles while I'm working. After I have each piece in place, I'll cover it with another layer of the decoupage medium so that everything stays nice in place and is protected when it dries. I'm going to keep doing this until I've covered the entire lampshade, and then I'm going to leave it all to dry. I want to fill in any little areas that I might have missed. I can just use little bits of the paper to cover up these areas. With everything done and dry, the last thing I want to do is cover up all those little paper bits on the underside of the lamp. I've grabbed some really pretty black ribbon and I'm going to just hot glue it in place right over the paper. This is going to give it a much more finished look. I love how much personality this lamp has now and how unique it looks. I hope this has inspired you to give your lamps a decoupage makeover as well. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Home Talk. I'll see you next time.